How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com. If you are looking for a safe, zero-calorie natural option to the harmful artificial sweeteners on the market today, Just Like Sugar is what you're looking for. Just Like Sugar is a wonderful natural alternative for those health-conscious people who choose a calorie-restricted diet with a great, pure, sweet flavor that tastes just like sugar. Just Like Sugar is a great natural option for people suffering from diabetes and may be useful in restricted diet programs where standard sugars are not allowed and does not cause a laxative effect of some other sweeteners. Just Like Sugar comprises a perfect blend of chicory root fiber, natural calcium, natural vitamin C, and Just Like Sugar's sweetness comes from the natural flavors from the peel of the orange. Just Like Sugar is a natural alternative to harmful artificial sweeteners and will change the way that you believe all natural sweetener products taste. Just Like Sugar is available at your local Whole Foods markets, Wild Oats markets, Henry's, Sun Harvest, and many other fine natural food stores in the U.S., Canada, and worldwide.
Welcome to the Imagine More Success radio show with Syndee Hendricks and Thomas Hydes. If you want to create more success in your career, your finances, your health, your spirituality, and your love life, then you want to tune into our show every week where we interview experts on these topics and so much more. This is actually the very first episode of a long and successful show run for Imagine More Success radio show. You're going to have a great time and a really fun time listening because the show is designed to inform you, to entertain you, and hopefully to inspire you to create, imagine, and enjoy more success in your life. I'm your host, Thomas Hydes, and I have Syndee Hendricks with me, who is the co-host and an amazing person to have with me today. Syndee, thank you so much for coming in. It's awesome to have you here.
Hey, Thomas, right back at you. Go ahead.
Can you imagine what it's like having this very first show? I mean, it wasn't too very long ago that we were on a podcast together. We were working together, had an amazing podcast called Imagine More Success. And now here we find ourselves on the radio. It's pretty incredible.
It's so much fun. I just think it's great to help people find their way through all those big five of life, and to share and help people especially find their inspiration.
Absolutely. We're very fortunate also to be on the XZBN network with Rob McConnell, who's assisting us, producing the show, doing some really great work for us. In fact, he is the genesis, he and someone named Sharon Lynn Wyeth, who has a show called Know the Name on the very same network. Those are the two people that really got this show off the ground and are helping to generate the positive outcomes that are all around it.
You know, Thomas, that is such a special story that I really want to share, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I was invited to be a guest on Sharon's radio show, who Rob happens to produce. And she was caught up in those tornadoes and didn't have any internet. And since she'd been a guest on our show, Thomas, she asked if you'd co-host, and I said, absolutely. And there we were, working on Sharon's show with Rob producing. And little did I know who Rob really is.
Seriously.
I know. And so, you know, not long after, the three of us connected, and Rob invited us to take his last spot.
Yeah, pretty awesome stuff. I think the big lesson that comes out of this whole story really is when you're busy in your life and you're helping other people, great opportunities come along. And that's really kind of how this whole show came about because Sharon called us, asked us if I would be able to co-host her show and interview you for her show Know the Name, which is on the same network. I said yes, willing to help. And out of it grew an amazing opportunity to start this amazing show run. We're going to have a tremendous selection of guests for you that are coming up over the coming weeks. We've got people who are experts in so many different fields who are bringing not just their expertise, but also a great amount of knowledge as well as a willingness to share and to deliver entertaining and informative content to you that's going to really make a difference in your life. So the show is really designed to help to elevate people, not certainly not to do what most radio shows do. Let's kind of bring people down and talk about negative things. We definitely are trying to elevate people and have a great time and bring on people whose mission in life is to do more for others.
Well, and anyone who's listened to our previous shows will tell you that Thomas and I always have a good time, and our guests really enjoy that and really open up and share. And the best part is nearly every single guest that comes on our show has a gift for you, our listeners out there. So listen up because you're going to get some really juicy free stuff. And who out there doesn't like free stuff?
Absolutely. We've had some really tremendous giveaways in the past from our podcast, including free books. We've had free time with coaches and consultants, as well as entire courses that have been given away on the show. So it's a really fun kind of concept that we're going to continue in the show so that every single week you have access not just to the hour so that you're going to be listening, but you'll also get a more in-depth look at what the guest does, how the guest can help you, and how the guest can make a difference in your life. And every single week, Syndee, we're also going to do something really important, which is we're going to spend time helping the listeners every single week in our fourth segment.
That is so special that I would love to take a few minutes and explain that because you're going to get amazing value in our fourth segment every single week. Because Thomas and I have just recently launched a new series of courses with 4 hours of listening and all kinds of information and a comprehensive workbook that we're going to be giving free every week, segments and pieces of that information for all of you out there listening so that you too can have that life that you imagine. And if you know anything about Thomas and I, you will understand that we have this innate thing that we have got to give to people and help lift them up in their lives so that everyone has an opportunity to be their very best self.
And what an amazing way to put it, really to help people be their best selves, because that's what we're working with every single day, right? As in our professions, we spend a lot of our times helping other people and also having to focus on ourselves as well to be the very best that we can be, because it's so very important to lead by example and to practice what you preach.
Boy, oh boy, is that a big statement.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. They don't only put a little bit of pressure on us, to really stay focused and hardworking.
Yeah, well, if you look into our world today, we need a lot more practice of what you're preaching out there, don't you think?
Yeah, pretty much. And that's a really important topic for us throughout these shows as well, is that we do offer every single time that we talk to an expert, we do offer literally some sort of advice from the expert, or the expert actually offers the advice on how to start right within the moment. And that's so very important, that if there is something that you want to do, something that you want to change, when you have that information that you can get started immediately, it's like a real jump start, a real kick start, and it's going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, you know what I love most about our show, Thomas, is the diversity that we bring to the table, because you and I are pretty diverse people by our own right. And then when we bring guests on, we have people that are doctors, we have people that are, just starting out, that have a great message and information to share, and everything in between. And so we never have shows that are the same, typically.
Yes, absolutely. And what I want to talk about also is the idea behind Imagine More Success and what that phrase really means. There's so much talk about success and so many times success is just measured solely by maybe the amount of money that someone has in their bank account or the title that they've received by someone else. And we want to challenge that kind of concept about what success is and allow you an opportunity to imagine what success looks like in your own life so that you have an opportunity to not live by other people's rules and other people's guidelines, but to have your own definition, your own working definition, which can obviously change and grow, of success, so that you can be searching for the very points and parts that you need in order to create the life that you want.
Well, and you know who my favorite author is that I'm going to quote, Thomas.
I think we're going to hear a couple quotes in these shows in the future, but yes, tell me all about him, please.
Yes, my favorite author and grandfather of motivational speaking is Earl Nightingale, who actually started out as a radio guy. And
I never knew that.
oh yeah, his big deal in I think it was the 30s or the 40s. He was in radio, one of the first, motivational guys out there. And he said in one of his audios that I have them all, he said that success is determined by each individual. And the homeless person on the park bench is successful because that person is doing exactly what they want to do.
Beautiful quote, and I would agree at
Yes.
100%.
Now, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but the point is exactly what you said, Thomas, is that everyone has their own definition for success. And what we teach in our Goal for It course is that, goals, and that's what your success is achieving your goals. Typically, goals are fluid, and you don't write it in stone because life happens, and then you've got to update your goal because sometimes you achieve it right away, and then guess what? You need another goal.
Got to start it all over again. And the other part that I really want to talk about today is the idea of imagination and how very important it is to allow yourself the opportunity to let your mind wander and not get caught up every single day kind of in the day-to-day, the dundrum, the doldrums of just your to-do list, but setting aside the time to think about what's possible for you and to allow yourself to dream bigger than you've ever thought possible, and allow yourself to dream about what you'd really want to have in your life in all those 5 things that we talk about: career, finances, your health, your spirituality, and in your love life. And that idea of imagination being a tool is a big part of what we're bringing into the show. The idea is that the experts who come on give you great ideas, they give you great information, and they give you an opportunity to dream bigger so that you can enjoy whatever it is that you want to enjoy in your life.
Yes, and for everyone listening today, I want to personally invite you to join us every week because we are going to lift you up. We have so many things that we will bring to you, so many ideas, and so many different ways that we're going to give you to be able to be your best self. And I know you can all do it because over my career, I've seen it and done it with so many people. And you can be that person too. So listen in and find out what it is that you need to hear from us so that you can go out there and slay your dragons, because that's why we're here. Thomas and I are here so that we can help you get to where you want to be.
Absolutely. So you want to stick around. When we come back in the next segment, we're actually going to hear more from Syndee. We're going to learn a lot more about her past. We're going to learn a lot more about her current work situation, what she does for people, how she helps people, and how she can help you. So you're going to want to stick around for the second segment on the Imagine More Success radio show with Syndee and Thomas, because when we come back, we're going to have some really fun information and some really great stories. So please stick around. How would your life change if you could develop the business and personal skills that you need in order to make more money? Do you want to learn how to achieve your big life goals faster? Then go to findhiddenmoney.com and get the Goal for It online course. The course teaches you how you can set and achieve your biggest goals while completely overcoming the roadblocks to your goals so that you can realize your dreams and imagine more success. Go to findhiddenmoney.com.
Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hydes can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Did you expect your business to flourish, but instead it plateaued or didn't get off the ground yet? Would you like to achieve massive goals and discover new sources of income within your business? When you're ready to experience that type of success with fast results, Syndee Hendricks is the business coach for you. Her work with entrepreneurs and business owners has been life-changing. To get you and your business where you want to be, go to imaginemoresuccess.com.
Has the fear of public speaking stalled your business or personal life? What would you give to develop and maintain supreme confidence? Have an invaluable private program to always perform at your best. Imagine how you would feel. You can have all that and so much more today with Thomas Hydes' life-changing course called Number One Fear Unleashed. Visit numberonefear.com and be liberated from your fear of public speaking.
Welcome back to the Imagine More Success radio show with Syndee and Thomas. We're so happy you would join us again today. In this segment, we're going to be talking with Syndee about her past, about how she helps people, her career, and so many fun topics. And we wanted to give a quick shout out to the XZBN Network for hosting our show. Thank you so much. Syndee, I want to jump right into my interview with you today. You've done some really tremendous work with people. In fact, I know you have a story that you'd like to share with us about how you helped one of your clients and how you really helped her financially in her career. Take a moment and tell us a little bit about your client.
Oh my gosh, this woman is amazing, and she has a business with about, I think she told me like 30 or 40 people working with her. And she was struggling because one of her friends worked for her too. And it was not a good working relationship. And I'm not sure if she felt like she owed her or if she felt like she really had to keep her in position. But I helped her to have a paradigm shift in her thinking about her. Because whenever you have someone in your life or your business who isn't contributing in a positive way to your goals or what it is you're trying to accomplish, it is going to have a negative effect in a big way. And people don't really understand what that means until they've corrected it and they see the difference of when that is corrected. And once I shared with her some ways that she could alleviate this and give choices, recommendations, and then make decisions, I could see the light bulb go off in her head of things she had not considered. And that's really why you need somebody to help you, because none of us can see our blind spots. I can't see my blind spots. That's why I have a consultant and a coach on my team. And so after I spent time working with her and she implemented the things that I shared that she should consider doing, she came back to me about a month later and said, "Oh my gosh, Syndee, I can't even believe it. I had my first $1 million sales month."
Wow.
Well, to be honest, Thomas, I couldn't believe it either because that's a boatload of money.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I know. And I said, "Can I record that?" Because nobody's going to believe it. And so, of course, I did.
Yeah, and of course, obviously, this is a big, major milestone for this particular client of yours in her career. And this was something where I'd say she was feeling a little stuck, really, right? And when she worked with you, she kind of got unstuck and moved forward and was able to find some more success that she wasn't anticipating.
Well, I didn't even think she was at the stuck stage yet. She was she was still in the, gosh, I don't even know what to do with this stage because it was affecting her entire business.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That should be a clue to everyone listening that if you have negativity in your life or you have a person on your personal or professional team that isn't contributing in a positive way, you need to take a look at that. And if you can't solve it, you need to bring in some support. And
I want to take a moment also just to kind of brag on Syndee a little bit here. I just want to brag on you a little. I just want to say Cyndee's led multi-million dollar divisions of some of the nation's top retailers to both record-breaking and award-winning performances and revenues. And currently, she's providing invaluable insights, some inspiration, these action plans that are amazing, giving amazing results that have catapulted her clients from struggling to thriving in her international coaching and consulting practice. And her current projects include co-hosting this show, as well as being the author of, Cyndee, is it 14 books now? Is it? I lose track.
I'm just getting 11 and 12 published, and I'm working on 3 more this year.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's just a dozen so far with 3 more in the works. Just a handful of books that are being done. And by the way, they're all on different topics. So not only is Cyndee very busy as a coach consultant and doing amazing work for businesses, she's also a prolific author and has done some really incredible work through a nonprofit foundation that she has as well. And something that we're going to talk about in a little bit is actually her most recent book that she's writing, which is a story that's very personal to her and actually has tremendous value for anyone who has a family member who is affected by Alzheimer's. We'll get to that a little bit later. Cyndee, tell me a little bit more about your background and what is it that, what's the, maybe not the one experience, but what's the experience that you had in corporate America that gave you the massive tools that you have in order to help people on an individual basis or within their own businesses?
Well, I think it's collective because there's not just one thing, but if I had to pick one thing, I would tell you it's in coaching people because I've been coaching people since I was on a work study program in high school. And yes, and what was amazing to me is even then I had bosses with master's degrees and teaching credentials, and I couldn't believe that I was teaching them stuff even when I was in high school.
Yeah, and and that's very true. And I think that, especially me also being a product of your work, I've seen how very systematized you are and how you really take everything into consideration when it comes to a business. You don't just take a look at the numbers. While you make the numbers work, you also take a look at the individuals, the processes, the systems, so many different things that I think can be easily overlooked or can be neglected. And in neglecting those things, it's when major problems arise. But you actually have the foresight and the ability to basically correct nearly everything.
Well, what I think that people miss a lot of times is that when you walk into something and you're trying to correct it, you have to look at everything that's there. Like you said, not just the numbers, because we're all numbers driven if you have a business, but even the people and what's going on with them, and then the workload and the way work is being done. And then, you have to always look at advertising, whether it's, the way it used to be or the way it is today with social media and so on. But it's just everything. And I had the fabulous opportunity of being the troubleshooter in almost every single company that I worked for, because when something wasn't being profitable, and of course that's the hot button for every CEO in the country, when a business isn't profitable, they find a way to make it profitable. And I would be the one they'd send in to do that.
And yes, for anyone who is in business and who needs to focus on their career, then that's obviously an amazing set of tools and skills that can propel your business forward and give you plenty of opportunities to increase revenue, both top and bottom line.
Well, and for me, it's fun work. I just love going in and looking at a business, and I can't shut my mind off when I go anywhere. My mind is always solutions oriented. So that can sometimes not be fun when you don't want to be doing that, but I really enjoy it so much because I can see, you know what I'm saying? I can see what needs to happen quickly.
And then you have an opportunity also to affect change and to make those things happen, which is incredible.
Well, and that's the juice, isn't it?
Yes, there's something else that really blows my mind is that when I take a look at your success, the amount of success you had in corporate America, that you're bringing all this knowledge and all these results into your own private practice, I realized that when you started, the roles that women held in corporations in that time period, not nearly as prolific or as often as they are now. And it was, I think, very rare in your time to be in some of the heights of the positions that you were in. And so I think it speaks a lot to the results that you were able to get, as well as your ability to do the job and to allow other people to see it.
Well, I think that the reason that I had that ability was because I really didn't have a choice. I was on my own at 16 and I had no net and I had to find a way to make a living and I really wanted an education. So I had to be very aggressive to be able to get the work that would afford that. And I had bosses who tried to hold me back in almost every position because most of the time I was competing against men. And I just told them straight out, I have headhunters calling me, and if you can't, get arrange for me to have an interview for a promotion, I'm going to start interviewing with the headhunters.
And Syndee, during that time, here you are, like growing and starting off so young. If you're listening right now and you're starting off super young, this is a great example of what's possible is significantly greater than you may actually think is possible, because time will pass and you can take on challenges and you can do the things that you want to do. And it doesn't always come easy and it doesn't always come right away, but it can come and you can make it happen. And Syndee, did you spend a lot of time when you were younger actually seeing and like imagining what was going to come, for you in the future in your business career?
I always had my eye on the next position or the next job. And my mantra in those days was, I was looking for a job when I found this one. And and I was fearless because I knew whatever job that I decided I wanted, I was willing to do what it took to get that job accomplished in a really good way. And I was willing to roll up my sleeves and do the work when a lot of people, even then, really didn't do that. They didn't see the benefit of going above and beyond. And I always saw the benefit.
Absolutely. And Syndee, I do want to take a moment and talk a little bit about your next book that is coming up, called Me, Harvey, and Al's. I'm going to visit again a little bit more in the fourth segment. We're going to talk about that. But just a quick intro to the book. It is a book about your relationship with your husband, Harvey, who is afflicted by Alzheimer's, but you've done the amazing work of keeping him coherent for over a decade. And that book is going to launch very soon. And we want to make sure that we talk about that in the fourth segment.
Yes, well, I am a very private person, believe it or not, always have been. And everybody that meets Harvey wants to know what I'm doing because you can't even tell he has Alzheimer's until, he might say something twice or three times. And, but I mean, his mind is still there after 10 years. In fact,
Amazing.
I wish he wouldn't remember everything some days.
So do stick around with us in the next segment when we come back on the Imagine More Success radio show. Syndee's going to actually interview me, and you're going to get to know a little bit more about me and what I do and the people that I work with. And I'm really looking forward to it. So do stick around. We'll be back in just a moment on the Imagine More Success radio show. How would your life change if you could develop the business and personal skills that you need in order to make more money? Do you want to learn how to achieve your big life goals faster? Then go to findhiddenmoney.com and get the Goal for It online course. The course teaches you how you can set and achieve your biggest goals while completely overcoming the roadblocks to your goals so that you can realize your dreams and imagine more success. Go to findhiddenmoney.com.
Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hydes can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Did you expect your business to flourish, but instead it plateaued or didn't get off the ground yet? Would you like to achieve massive goals and discover new sources of income within your business? When you're ready to experience that type of success with fast results, Syndee Hendricks is the business coach for you. Her work with entrepreneurs and business owners has been life-changing. To get you and your business where you want to be, go to imaginemoresuccess.com.
Has the fear of public speaking stalled your business or personal life? What would you give to develop and maintain supreme confidence? Have an invaluable private program to always perform at your best. Imagine how you would feel. You can have all that and so much more today with Thomas Hydes' life-changing course called Number One Fear Unleashed. Visit numberonefear.com and be liberated from your fear of public speaking.
Welcome back to the Imagine More Success radio show with Syndee and Thomas. Man, that was some really funky music. Really enjoyed that. Syndee, I've had the real pleasure of working with you now for a little over 2 years, and we've done some fantastic work together. And I just wanted to take a moment to let you kind of put me on the hot seat and ask any sort of crazy questions you want. Is that a first or what?
Don't feel like a dancing chicken or anything.
I'll try not to.
Because you are an amazing soul, Thomas. And I just want our listeners out there to really know how wonderful you are, because you have this amazing eclectic background and people don't even know all this stuff about you. So we're going to change that up and let everybody learn all of the wonderful things about you.
Sure.
Because you really have your family who started out in the Cayman Islands, which are amazing. I love that.
Beautiful place, right?
Yeah. So tell us about your beginnings from there to Florida.
You know, my parents actually both immigrants, and they actually grew up both in the Cayman Islands and were born there, but they actually didn't meet until they met one another in Florida, oddly enough. And they got married and started a family, and you know, they were super influential. I mean, I'm so blessed and so happy to have both my parents, both my dad, who has passed away, my mom, who's still with us, who's amazing. They just really, I think, gave me an extraordinary childhood. Didn't necessarily grow up with a ton of money or anything like that, but they were always super positive. They were always encouraging and enlightening and teaching and sharing and growing and super loving. And you know, talk about having a great start. If there was any kind of success that I have, I can definitely look back on it and owe a lot of it to them. And, you know, anything that hasn't been right in my life, I definitely cannot go back and put any of it on them. I got nobody to blame there.
I can tell you, Thomas, that knowing you as a person, that your parents did a fantastic job of bringing you up because of who you have become.
I appreciate that. They're pretty awesome people, both of them.
And so one of the most special things about you is that you are a professional singer. And tell us when that started and some of your journey with your singing career.
Yeah, I guess that, you know, if you ask anyone what kind of singer I'm considered an opera singer still. I started singing when I was just a little kid, actually in church. My dad was actually a preacher in a church, and he actually had me singing solos on stage by myself at age 4. So if you want to talk about getting an early start, that did it. And then I studied opera performance, undergraduate degree at Florida State University and a master's degree at Boston University, and a handful of amazing teachers afterwards as well. And honestly, it's probably one of the greatest experiences of my life, and it was totally unplanned. It was not a part of my game plan. My game plan when I was going to college was to study computer science. And one of my friend's older sisters, who's going to the same university I was going to attend, she actually told me to go sing for the head of the voice department of the university. So I went and sang for him, and he was like, listen, you need to become an opera singer. And I said, I have to be honest with you, I've never even heard an opera before in my life. I was 17 years old. And he sent me, his name was William Brown. He's passed away now, actually, but he was an amazing tenor. He was at University of North Florida for many years. He sent me to this really special lady named Cynthia Valentine, who was the head librarian. She played this beautiful song called Piango Gemo, and it was sung by Renata Tebaldi. And I listened to it. It was only 2 minutes long, and it's super simple melody, just beautiful. And I was in tears, and I wanted to do that. I wanted to be able to move people in an emotional way just like she did. And so that journey of opera singing and studying began. It was incredible.
Well, I can tell you, Thomas, anyone who hears you speak, I don't understand how no one before could tell you that you should be a singer with that amazing voice of yours.
It's really funny because I think if you had heard me speak when I was maybe a teenager prior to that, I don't think you would have necessarily heard that. In fact, most of the faculty at the university that heard me sing didn't necessarily think that I was very special or anything like that. And he actually did. That first voice teacher heard something that the others didn't hear. And then it was only a few short years later I made my symphonic debut, I believe age 22, if I'm not mistaken. I have to think about that. Yeah, so it was, a lot of help from a lot of really amazing people. And that's really the story of my life, is encountering and meeting these incredible people who have given so much to me to help me become who I've become and to learn all the lessons that are so very important. And I'm really excited. I've really been enjoying having the opportunity to give back some of that knowledge and to share it, because the lessons that I learned, especially in those formative years in college and grad school and learning how to sing even after that, were just amazing and really life-changing.
Well, before we go into how you've parlayed all that into your business, I would like to brag on you for a minute and share that you had a fantastic opportunity last fall to sing with a very important person. I would love for you to share a little bit about that, because he's one of my favorites to listen to.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So there's a choir and orchestra that I sing with in Las Vegas who they actually kind of plucked me out of complete obscurity as a singer about 4 years ago, and because I had stopped singing for some period of time, and went back to it about 4 years ago because of them. They're called the Southern Nevada Musical Arts Society, and Dr. Peterson, who's their conductor and leader, really kind of inspired me to go back to singing as much as I have. And I had an opportunity to actually perform with them, with Andrea Bocelli at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, here in Las Vegas where I live, in front of 14,000 people. And it was absolutely incredible to be on stage with some of the same orchestra members and some of the same choir members that I've sung with, and to have him there on the stage. Andrea Bocelli is an amazing singer, great performer, and the energy level of the audience was off the charts. I mean, this was like going to see the Rolling Stones or the Beatles or something. People were screaming, and I was so shocked by that. I mean, you don't go to classical music concerts and get people screaming. I mean, you get people standing ovations and a little yelling, but screaming, I think,
Well,
Bocelli's got that.
you added in a huge way because your voice was evident amongst the singers.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Amazing. And what was it that the special community in Las Vegas said about your voice?
Oh, I've gotten plenty of accolades and stuff like that about my singing voice and, some of the things that I've done. Like I said, I was just super fortunate to have amazing training, amazing teachers, and to be able to create a level of professionalism within that singing, and as well as a tremendous amount of artistry that I think comes from, again, just so many amazing inputs from so many different people. It's really cool. And it actually is a thing which has helped me the most in this part of my life, in this part of my career, which is assisting people with presentations and becoming a public speaking coach. And in my own personal journey, I guess one of the big stories that was life-changing for me was kind of overcoming a fear that I never had until I actually was in college. And that was like a fear of singing. I started getting nervous singing in front of people. And because I had to overcome that in order to continue singing, it's actually also helped me teach clients how to overcome their fears of public speaking. And that, it's called Number One Fear, and that's actually one of my websites, numberonefear.com. But there are so many things inside of people that cause them to not want to communicate, to make them fearful, to make them afraid. And what they don't know is that there's so many things inside of them that give them the opportunity to share and to create and to be successful and to be able to communicate with so many people, and to not be afraid, and to do it with love and joy and with a real passion for what they're talking about.
Well, one of the most important things in life and in business is communication. And you have to do it in any part of your life or business. And Thomas, you are amazing at voice training, voice lessons, creating speeches, helping people to deliver speeches in all forms of communication. And I think that you might want to share a little bit about how they can find you, because everybody needs to improve their communication no matter where you are in your journey of portraying your thoughts through communication.
Absolutely. If you want to check out my website, iconquality.com, that's where you'll find information about public speaking. And really, there's so many opportunities now especially for business professionals who want to increase their influence, who want to be seen, who want to deliver their message to the masses. The TEDx talks now, I think, are an amazing platform for people to work from, because they can put together a presentation, they can put together a speech, which is incredible, and really gives you the opportunity to not just put your message out there, but to really define what it is that you do that's so very special. And there's so many parts of public speaking, and one of the big parts also is the vocal quality, and that's another thing that I've really enjoyed working on, and that does take time, and it's a really incredible process, because again, kind of like the idea of imagine more success, most people are not even able to imagine that they can sound differently, or that they can develop a voice that they really love and that really speaks to who they are and is able to convey the love and joy and the passion that they have inside of their hearts. And it's a really worthwhile goal, and it's something that actually really brings me great joy to be able to help people in that way too.
Well, over the next several shows, you are going to become very acquainted with Thomas and I, who we are, what we do, and how we can help you, how our guests can help you, and all those freebies I was telling you about. I love freebies.
I know. I can't wait for some of these interviews that we have coming up. We've got a great selection of guests. We've got really fun people, really smart people, really giving people. It's going to be a great couple of shows for sure. So you're going to want to stick around with us. We're going to come back to the next segment. We're going to tell you a little bit more about what we're doing and keep things moving for you. So do stick around. We'll be right back in just a moment on the Imagine More Success radio show on the XZBN network.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
The ability to access the knowledge of the universe is much easier for us to access than we may believe. Brad Johnson, Conscious Matrix Communicator, is one of these unique individuals who is able to access a strong connection to the universal mind. Through his connection, Brad has assisted thousands of clients from all over the world through natural intuitive assistance. The intuitive information received is vast, covering a wide range of subjects. Brad's innate ability includes being able to access one's own universal matrix to help them realize their potential to create a life of profound greatness. One-on-one private sessions with Brad Johnson are available to anyone from around the world. Brad is also a proficiently trained psychic, Akashic Records reader, an online spiritual teacher, founder of his own unique and powerful healing system, Body Regeneration Healing, as well as a professional conscious channeler in communication with his own higher self-consciousness known as Adronis. For more information or to book a service appointment with Brad Johnson, visit his website at www.consciousmatrix.com. That's www.consciousmatrix.com.
Thank you for joining us again on the Imagine More Success radio show with Syndee and Thomas. We're so happy to have you here. So glad you've been listening. I hope you've enjoyed the first couple of segments that we've gone through. We want to talk a little bit more about so many things, but we only have a little bit of time. But we definitely want to talk about Sharon Lynn Wyeth, who is the person who really brought us to the XEBN network, and also has an amazing show here called Know the Name. We want to invite you to check out her show as well. It's a really fantastic show where she does interviews with people as well, and she also analyzes people's names so that she could help them figure out more about themselves, learn about themselves, and also learn about people that they're going to be working with, which will allow them to be able to retain employees, which is extraordinarily expensive, find the right partner for their love life, find the right partner in their business life, as well as to find the right person that they can be friends with and who can enrich their lives. And it's a really incredible group of concepts called Namology, which she created. I mean, Sharon's done some really wonderful things for us. Syndee, what do you have to say about her?
Well, what I have to say about Sharon is she's going to be on this show next week.
Yes, she is. She is our featured guest, and we're happy to have her here. I mean, it's been a real journey. We've had a chance to have her on our podcast before, but to have her now on the radio show is going to be really cool.
Well, and what's really interesting to me is, you know how people are always telling us, Thomas, that we have this weird synergy when we work together?
Yes.
Every single guest nearly. And, I just kind of took it for granted that some of us get along really well and some of us don't. But Sharon explained exactly why we get along so well.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that my first name and your last name end with the same letter, and my last name and your last name start with the first letter, and then your last name has 4 of the same letters in my first name.
I know there's a lot of things, and Sharon, who is an absolute expert in her science, which she came up with, and by the way, she is a math teacher and professor, and this entire science is based around scientific principles and mathematics, and really, really an amazing code. I mean, I think of Sharon as being a code breaker, and I think about, what an amazing concept it is that she's come up with and how she's figured out all this information and is even able to predict and to know how people are going to get along. I mean, it's incredible.
Thomas, we have to remember to tell her she's the code breaker because that's a huge tagline.
Yeah, and she's got an amazing book and a course also called Know the Name, Know the Person. I mean, definitely worth checking out. You definitely want to check her out at knowthename.com. And like I said, she will be here next week. So yes, come back next week. We're gonna be pulling out all sorts of information from her, and she's gonna be decoding some names, and she's got some incredible stories to share as well. Which is what's really funny is that on her own show, she's always interviewing other people that she doesn't really have a chance to kind of shine and to show what an incredible talent she is and incredible gifts that she has to give. So it's going to be a really fun time to do that and let her kind of be in the spotlight and to shine. It's going to be great.
Yes, because she's an amazing person to know. She also has courses and multiple books. So be sure to tune in next week and find out how you can get them. And of course, you can check out her freebie. But what I want to share today with you is that we will be having like a training class in our 4th segment every week just for you listeners. And we're going to be sharing what we have developed in our Series 1 of courses. You will not believe what's in there, because Thomas and I have taken what we've learned in our coaching and consulting businesses and put it into 9 modules. There's a second series coming, but we're going to focus the first few times on series 1. And
Yes.
it's called findhiddenmoney.com. And what it really is a treasure chest of everything about you, the big 5 of life, which we talked about earlier in the show. And you will be able to up-level yourself or improve yourself, whichever way you like to say that, in so many different ways that you're going to walk away with so many ideas on how you can do exactly that.
And really the idea is to help you to do a handful of things, like increase your skills in business, both personal as well as actual business and financial and management skills, as well as to kind of decode and to overcome any roadblocks which are standing between you and achieving the goals that are really important in your business and in your life. And Syndee, I know we talk a lot about roadblocks in some of the secondary modules, because everyone knows kind of, once you have an idea of what you want to do, you can probably figure out how to do it, or you can find someone who can help you do it. It's when the roadblocks come up, some of them which are actually unseen and hidden, that you really need the assistance to be able to go past them, move around them, go through them, dissolve them, and get to find the solution to the roadblocks so that you can get to your goal, you can reach your destination. And like we said earlier, Syndee, right? When you get to your destination, that's never really the destination, is it?
Well, they always say that the exciting part is the journey, not the destination, and I find that to be true. But what I'd like to share is one of the books I wrote is called Goal For It, and in that book it spells out, I don't know, over a dozen roadblocks, and those are what we address in many of them in the first series of courses. And as Thomas mentioned, people sometimes don't even know that they have a roadblock.
Absolutely.
It's not even evident. And one of the biggest ones that I see in a lot of people is self-esteem. And people walk around thinking, oh, I have good self-esteem. And then when you start delving into that, you find out, well, hey, wait a minute. It's not as high as I thought it was, because once you take a look at it, it's like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like me saying, I'm a big, strong guy. And then I go to the gym with one of my friends who's a professional athlete. And then I realize, hey, I probably need to work out a little bit more often. Maybe I need to get a little bit stronger.
That's a good point. You need to work out your self-esteem. There you go.
Absolutely, because it's not really until it's tested that you really have a real idea of what your self-esteem is, because it's not something that we necessarily think about or focus on. And it's only once it is tested, we see the results of the outcome of whatever it is that's tested your self-esteem, that we have a better idea of what your self-esteem is. So yes, if you can get that jump start and start building self-esteem, start building self-confidence long before the obstacles come up or the roadblocks come up, you will be so much happier, have an incredible opportunity to face the obstacles head on with a lot more steam, a lot more tools in the toolbox, and having a lot more tactics in order to overcome them.
Well, when I was little, I used to love boxes. And to this day, I still have this kind of box fetish, no matter how small or how big or how pretty or how ordinary. And I think when you look at what we're doing, we talk about finding your treasure chest. And a box is kind of like that. When you open it, you don't really know sometimes what's in there. Right?
It's very, very true. It's kind of Forrest Gump box of chocolates.
There you go. Well, you can only hope there's chocolate inside that treasure chest, right?
It's just an added bonus.
The endorphin fix, right? I'm all in.
Absolutely. And Syndee, I wanted to talk a little bit also about your latest book, which is coming out. And I had a chance to kind of read it, proof it and enjoy it. And, I was so touched by it because it's such a personal account of your life with your husband, Harvey. The title of the book is Me, Harvey, and Al's, and it chronicles the methods and the triumphs that you've had in helping your husband stay coherent for over a decade while he suffers from Alzheimer's disease. So tell us a little bit more about when that's coming out and what it means to you.
hopefully it'll be out in a few weeks. But I'll tell you the biggest secret that I can share with you is that it's the same thing as when I was working in a business and trying to figure out how to make it profitable and creating solutions. I have always applied the same theories in everything in my life. So I took what I've learned and I looked for the solutions with an area that I had no knowledge or experience with, because my family has none of the diseases that my husband has hereditarily. And so I had to figure it out along the way. And that's why I'm writing about it, because everybody wants to know what it is I'm doing that's helping him to be so coherent. Now, what I haven't figured out yet is how to help the body stay into control while all the neurons in the brain aren't firing right.
You'll get there.
But I've not given up yet. I'm still looking.
Yeah, and this is the thing, we were just talking earlier about enjoying the journey, because, the goals are, the goals are fleeting. It's like in singing, you spend so many more hours practicing and perfecting and making sure everything's perfect. And the performance, the longest operas are, 3-4 hours long. So your own singing may only be, an hour and a half, a few minutes. You've spent dozens and hundreds and thousands of hours working on your craft. You have to enjoy every single moment. And that, I think, is the big takeaway, is that no matter what your journey is, no matter what it is, you have to really enjoy the moment. You have to be happy within the moment, because that is what is most important, is the moment in which you're in, because you don't want to get caught up in worrying about what the future is. You don't want to regret the past. You want to stay within the moment and find the joy and the happiness and the pleasure that's inside of it.
Absolutely. And remember to take what you've learned in other arenas and apply that to the one that you're working in, because you have so much in your brain that you've already learned and done. And sometimes I think we forget, hey, I knew how to do this, or I knew how to do that, and I'm going to use those theories on this, and it's amazing what you can do.
And that's a great takeaway for today. We want to thank you again for listening. We hope you'll be back next week when we bring Sharon Lynn Wyeth on from the show Know the Name, Know the Person on the XZBN network. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again. Do check us out at imaginemoresuccess.com, where you can learn more about the show and maybe even get a little sneak peek into who some of our guests are in the future. So thanks again for joining us. Remember to realize your dreams and to imagine more success.
If you are looking for a safe, zero-calorie, natural option to the harmful artificial sweeteners on the market today, Just Like Sugar is what you're looking for. Just Like Sugar is a wonderful natural alternative for those health-conscious people who choose a calorie-restricted diet with a great, pure, sweet flavor that tastes just like sugar. Just Like Sugar is a great natural option for people suffering from diabetes and may be useful in restricted diet programs where standard sugars are not allowed and does not cause a laxative effect of some other sweeteners. Just Like Sugar comprises a perfect blend of chicory root fiber, natural calcium, natural vitamin C, and Just Like Sugar's sweetness comes from the natural flavors from the peel of the orange. Just Like Sugar is a natural alternative to harmful artificial sweeteners and will change the way that you believe all natural sweetener products taste. Just Like Sugar is available at your local Whole Foods markets, Wild Oats markets, Henry's, Sun Harvest, and many other fine natural food stores in the U.S., Canada, and worldwide.
Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hydes can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Linnea Starr began to demonstrate a metaphysical connection to the spirit world as a little girl. Her family noticed the connection, but it was a great-grandmother who told the family that Linnea was indeed gifted. The great-grandmother, who was also gifted, felt that Linnea had indeed inherited these attributes. It has been noticed that oftentimes such things are passed down through the generations. Linnea was also born with a caul, a thin white membrane across a newborn's face. Legend has it that if the baby is born with this call, the child will have second sight, or what we call psychic abilities. Linnea's star does past, present, and future, and has the gift of prophecy. It is written within scriptures that if you are able to give factual information and prophecies indeed come true, the gift in TAR.com.